You were born in the radioactive dust of a ruined megalopolis, a street rat scavenging fried silicon just to survive. Your only escape is the sky. You build illegal racing drones from scrap metal, piloting them through the shattered skyscrapers. It is the only time you feel alive. One night, a military press gang sweeps the slums. They don't want soldiers, they want twitch reflexes. They bag you. You manage to slip your zip ties in the back of their armored transport and kick the doors open, but you realize they confiscated your custom rig. Like a suicidal maniac, you dive back in to grab your remote. A rifle butt smashes into your skull, cracking your helmet and scrambling your brain. You wake up strapped to a biometric chair in a subterranean bunker. You don't know your name, you don't know your past. The Neuralink port drilled into your spine throbs with agonizing pain. A cybernetic commander barks that you are meat, and your only purpose is to fly the swarm. Welcome to the grinder. Training is a technologically induced nightmare. You are plugged directly into the tactical mainframe. When your virtual drone crashes, the chair floods your nervous system with raw electricity. You fly through razor wire canyons and anti-aircraft grids for 20 hours a day. If your heart rate drops, they shock you. If you miss a target, they shock you. You are molded into a machine of absolute, uncaring precision. You bond with the other tortured meat puppets in your cell block. There's a hacker who can slice enemy comms, a heavy ordnance giant who calculates blast radii in his sleep, and a paranoid sensor operator who tracks thermal ghosts. You become a synchronized hive mind. The final exam is a live-fire orbital arena. 2 squads plug in, only one unplugs. The loser's biometric chairs are wired to incinerate. You look at the digital avatars of the opposing team, kids you shared protein rations with yesterday. You don't even hesitate. You unleash a swarm of hunter-killers, tearing their digital ships to shreds, watching their physical bodies go up in flames through the observation glass. You feel nothing. You are the perfect apex predator. For 3 years, you are the unseen god of death, orchestrating hyper-violent assassinations from a dark room. You don't drop dumb bombs, you execute high-tech surgical slaughters. On your first major hit, a rebel general is locked inside a sealed underground panic room. You don't blow the door, you deploy a swarm of microscopic nano-drones through the air filtration system. They fly down his throat while he sleeps and detonate, turning his lungs into bloody confetti. Months later, you are tasked with annihilating an armored mercenary convoy speeding through a narrow desert canyon. You don't use conventional missiles. You drop a barrage of kinetic tungsten rods from low orbit, accelerating them to Mach 4. They strike with the force of meteors, flipping 60-ton tanks into the air like toy cars, while you ruthlessly mop up the survivors with incendiary micromissiles. Next, a heavily fortified mountain fortress requires absolute stealth. Your hacker loops their radar while you fly a cloaked quadcopter straight through a ventilation shaft, navigating the spinning fan blades by a fraction of a millimeter. You drop a localized EMP right in their server room, plunging the base into darkness before painting the entire facility for an orbital laser strike that vaporizes the compound in a blinding flash of white heat. You are a flawless instrument of murder, but the military complex demands unquestioning obedience. One night, the encrypted orders flash across your screen, commanding you to glass a designated civilian refugee sector. The military claims it is a terrorist stronghold, but your hacker slices the raw feeds and sees the truth. It is a false flag, a horrific massacre designed to justify more war funding. You refuse to fire. You pull your hands off the terminal. Alarms instantly blare inside the bunker. The steel doors magnetically lock. Your commander's voice crackles over the intercom, coldly stating that defective hardware must be liquidated. The ventilation grates open, pumping highly toxic neurotoxin into your control room. Your squad violently seizes, choking on the gas, bleeding from their eyes as they die in their biometric chairs. You hold your breath. your adrenaline spiking to lethal levels. You rip the neural cable from your spine, override the blast doors using your hacked remote, and shatter the glass, spilling out into the concrete corridor of the physical base. You are no longer flying a drone. You are running for your life. You sprint through the hangar, alarms screaming, red strobe lights painting the walls in blood. You hijack a heavily armed prototype assault rover, punch the ignition, and blast through the reinforced hangar doors, tearing out into the desolate, moonlit wasteland. But they aren't going to let you walk away. A swarm of hunter-killer drones, the exact same models you spent years perfecting, drop from the sky. They lock onto your thermal signature. The desert explodes around you. Missiles tear massive craters into the sand as you push the rover to 150 miles per hour. You dodge, weave, and drift through the canyons, firing EMP flares out the window. A kamikaze drone dives at your windshield. You slam the brakes, sending the rover into a violent spin. The drone misses by inches, shattering against the rock wall. You floor it again, your tires chewing up the dirt. You are a mile from the neutral zone. Freedom is right there. But a massive, heavily armored gunship rises over the ridge, its rotary cannons spinning up. You are dead to rights. Suddenly, you see a rusted civilian transport bus broken down in the middle of the canyon pass, full of terrified refugees. The gunship's targeting laser sweeps right over them, preparing to obliterate everything in the gorge. Your hyper-trained lizard brain screams at you to punch the throttle, slip past the bus, and save yourself. But the ghost of your murdered humanity flares back to life. You crank the steering wheel violently, launching your rover off a massive sand dune directly into the gunship's flight path. You hit the self-destruct on the rover's payload. The mid-air collision is catastrophic, a blinding, earth-shattering fireball that rips the gunship out of the sky. As you plummet toward the canyon floor, wrapped in twisted metal and scorching flames, you don't feel the heat. You just close your eyes, finally free from the screens, the blood, and the endless digital war.